This site is in land condition A. So if we look at the three components of land condition, the pasture, the soils and the woodland, starting with the pasture, and if we look at what species actually make up this pasture, so the tall grass here is actually black spear grass. It's a 3P grass, it's a native grass, it's palatable, it's productive and it's perennial. And it's the main dominant pasture in this area. If we look down a little lower in the pasture, we've got several broadleaf plants. So this is actually Varano stylo, so it's one of the exotic stylos. It's not a grass, but it is a 3P species. So it's been introduced, but it makes a valuable contribution to the forage for livestock. The other species that are down in the pasture, there's also an area of Eurocloa, which is another 3P species. It's also an exotic, so it's been brought in as well. So overall, the pasture in this area is dominated by the 3P species. There are some other species here as well, but the 3Ps make up probably 80 or 90% of the pasture. So the next component of land condition is the soil. So if we look down in the soil, it's quite well covered. So there's not a lot of bare ground in there. So any rainfall that falls in the pasture, most of the raindrops are going to hit vegetation, whether it be vegetation on the ground or whether it be the canopy of the grass, before it hits bare soil underneath. So that will promote infiltration and maximise pasture production. There's also no real evidence of erosion on the surface of this soil. So from looking at the soil component, it's also in A condition, so it's stable and it's receptive to rainfall. So the other component of land condition is to look at the woodland or the woody species. And this area has got quite a few woody plants in it, but the density is quite acceptable. It's quite open. There's not a lot of seedlings or saplings here, so there's not a lot of competition between those woody plants in the pasture for nutrients and water. So overall, we'd say, based on the mixture of 3P pasture species, the stability of the soil and the openness of the woodland, we'd categorise it as being in A condition.